Hello and welcome to this week's episode of The Winning Post, powered by the Serum Institute of India in association with the Delton Casinos. I'm Mandira Lalwani. And our first stop this week is also Bangalore, where all the racing action is truly heating up as the horses start getting ready for the classics that are coming ahead.
The Bangalore racecourse is considered as one of the best and most challenging in the country. The racetrack, with its demanding gradients and bends, is known to test the skills of experienced horses as well as riders. It's a pleasure to watch jockeys lead their steeds to victory on this course, and June 4th and 5th did witness the best of the horses on the track. First up was the D. Kumar Siddhana Memorial Cup, a Class 2 race over 1200 meters which saw 12 horses in the paddock. Castle Key in the silks of Dr. and Mrs. Vijay Mallya, trained by Arjun Mangalorkar, had run fourth the last time out at the Bangalore Turf Club Million over 1200 meters on March 5th, and will now be looking for a winning place with S. John in the saddle. The Neil Darasha trained Magical Light had a disappointing 6th in the Dr. T. Themaya Memorial Cup Division 1 over 1400 meters on May 15th, and would now be looking at improving on that performance with BL Paswan in the saddle. Albertino, trained by Irfan Khatala, was coming into the contest on the back of a win in the Siddha Ganga Plate Division 1 over 1200 meters on March 18th, and would be looking at continuing his form with winning partner S. Selvaraj in the saddle.
And they're away and racing for the D. Kumar Siddhana Memorial Cup. Got a fair start pursued by all the runners, and as the field settles down, the odds on Castle Key with 1,000 to go is the leader from Magical Light in second spot. In third is Integrated, being tracked there by Albertino, is on the outside, very close behind is Erika Wonder in the centre. Struck 6 of the 10, Doc Holiday. After that there is Hidden Soldier, very close behind is Abstract Art. The Royal Rain widest to fold, in the Star of Destiny capitalizes the back marker. They pass the 800 now. Castle Key, a length and a half in front of Magical Light. In third is Albertino. Hugging the rails there is Integrated, making a forward move with Doc Holiday. Struck 6 of the 10. Then there's Erika Wonder. After that is Hidden Soldier, Abstract Art as a head turn for home. Round the turn and into the straight, Castle Key, who comes in on first, is clear by about 3.5 lengths ahead of Magical Light. Integrated is trying to make a forward move on the outside. Widest to fall is Albertino. But Castle Key is still travelling on tight road. Is about 5-6 lengths ahead of Magical Light. Albertino, after that is Integrated. They're all in futile chase. Castle Key is well clear of Magical Light. Castle Key winning this one very, very impressively. Pillar to post. Magical Light second ahead of Albertino. Erika Wonder, Doc Holiday, Integrated.
Castle Key proved too good for the opposition in the 1200-meter race and was so speedy for the rest that the others were outsprinted, and the 4-year-old gelding won by a widening margin of 8 lengths over Magical Light and Albertino, who was in third. The feature race of the day was the Stewards Cup, a Class 1 race over 1200 meters which had 10 horses in the contest. New Crown, trained by Darais Baramji, was coming into the contest on the back of 2 wins on December 18th at the Srimati Satyavati Vichar Memorial Cup and the Hurricane Stud Plate, both over 1200 meters. He would be ridden by S. Jairwan this time out, looking at continuing his winning form. Referent in the silks of Dr. M.M. Ramaswamy, trained by Arvind Ganpati, had run a disappointing 9th in his last outing at the Hurricane Stud Plate and would be looking at improving on that performance with David Brooks in the saddle. The Prasanna Kumar trained I Am Different will be looking at getting back his form after his disappointing run in the Karnataka State Police Cup over 1600 meters. He will be looking at edging up the performance with A. Imran Khan in the saddle.
The line, they're all in status orders, and off they go for the Stewards Cup. And as they settle down to race, and getting early into the lead is New Crown, the leader, goes straight down to Lucas Field. By about a length in front of reference in second, Tabdir Kapacha. A close third at the stage, then comes Aragon, now been passed on the outside by New Emperor. Further back comes the next is Vivid Impression towards the outside, and in between runners is Super Queen. I Am Different is another 2.5 lengths behind. Running last at the stage is Wind Wonder. They travel towards the 800-meter marker, back to the leader. New Crown as a useful leader, but post about 3.5 in front of referent in second, Tabdir Kabacha in third. As they take the turn and straight up for the final run, and then comes Aragon, being joined on the outside by Vivid Impression, Super Queen. New Emperor is slightly dropping back, then comes Wind Wonder and I Am Different together as they straight up for the final run. And little over 350 to travel in the Stewards Cup. New Crown comes in on first, the leader, by about 3.5 forward in front of referent is in chase, and the others are all in futile. race as they enter the final 300-meter marker, and it's still New Crown the leader by about 2 in front, now shortening his stride and referring to the one which is catching up strongly on the outside. It's the New Crown from referent, New Crown from referent, New Crown from referent, New Crown from referent. New Crown holds on to win from referent. That's the 1 and 2. Then we have I Am Different.
Jockey Eberron took New Crown on a start-to-finish mission, and the progeny of elusive quality who had a good lead coming into the final furlong. The favourite just about lasted out to win from long shot referent.
Time now for a quick break. When we return, it's more racing from Bangalore. Stay with us. Welcome back to The Winning Post. This is the show where you get all the racing action and all the news from all over the world. But for now, our focus remains Bangalore.
June 5th saw the Bangalore Turf Club packed to the rafters as the reigning champion horse Desert God was to contest in a race. The evening started off with the Eberron Ski Trophy, a Division 1 race for horses 3 years old, which saw 7 horses in the parade ring. Supreme General, the Toad favourite, was making his second career start after a disappointing 6th in his last run at the Tata Housing Juvenile Multi-Million over 1400 metres in Mumbai. Trained by Karthik Ganpati and ridden by P.S. Chauhan, he was looking at making a favourable impression this time out. The S. Dominic Saddle Tsar had run third the last time out in the Win TV Group Japan Cup over 1200 metres on March 5th in Chennai, and would now be looking at improving on that performance with T.S. Joda in the saddle. Sweet Temptation from Malishna Redu's yard was making his first appearance here, as Eberron was in the saddle looking at shedding her maiden status.
Status orders and off they go for the Eberron Ski Trophy. Losing about 2 lengths at the start was Sweet Temptation. Even more slower was Simple Sam. And as they settle down to race, and Zafran, the leader, is just the leader from Supreme General, joining up on the outside. Another length behind is Zar. Further 2 lengths behind is Ashoka, now being joined on the outside by Floaters. 2 behind is Sweet Temptation. 3 behind, running last at the stage, is Simple Sam. 7 horse field travelled towards the 700-meter marker, back to the leader, and it's Zafran just about half a length in front of Supreme General, ranging up on the outside. 2 behind comes the next is Zar with Ashoka. Floaters trailing about 4 wide off the fence. Sweet Temptation, Simple Sam is another 3 behind as they begin to negotiate the bend and straighten for a final run-in. They are well over into their straight, little over 300 to travel in this Epsom Ski Trophy Division 1. Supreme General comes and grabs the lead from Zafran in second. Zar is the one which is starting to maneuver on the outside. Another 2 behind is Sweet Temptation. Joining up on the outside is Ashoka. But Supreme General still traveling well at this stage by about 3 in front. Supreme General well clear of this field and is home and dry to lift the Epsom Ski Trophy. With Pradeep Chauhan astride, Supreme General is well clear from Zar finishing up second.
Supreme General swept past the front, running the straight to win by a widening margin of 4 lengths over Zar and Sweet Temptation, and would now set his sights on the Group 1 Colts Championship. Next up was the VT Velu Memorial Club, a Class 2 race over 1600 metres, which had 10 horses in the contest. Gabino, trained by S.S. Ataulahi, had run second the last time out in the Dr. T.T. Thimaiya Memorial Cup over 1400 metres and would now be looking at landing the spoils with A. Sandesh holding his reins. Flamboyance, trained by Darius Baramji, was coming fresh into the contest on the back of a win at the Dr. T.T. Thimaiya Memorial Cup, and with Y. Srinath in the saddle this time out, would be looking at continuing his winning form. S. Padmanabhan trained Feliciana had a disappointing 5th in the last race at the Leading Star Trophy over 1200 metres and would now be ridden by R. Ajinkya in the saddle, looking at improving on that performance.
And away they go for the VT Velu Memorial Cup. Losing 3 lengths at the start is Ice Glow. And as the field settles down, Trinada is the leader from Feliciana in the centre in the red and white. Being tracked by Androstus on the far side as a past the 7 furlong pole sporting the pink cap. Length and a half away in the green cap, the Flamboyance is the top weight and 4th spot is the past the 1200. 2 1/4 length behind is Thomas Moore is the son of King Dhaka, been tracked on the outside by Gabino, the favourite. First to cheer not too far away, been tracked by Top Tactics in the Clareton Gold. Ice Glow second last of all, Secret Dimension is now making a forward go. The run past the 1,000 now. It's Trinidad, the leader from Feliciana in the centre, and Roster struck 4 of the front, and there is a Flamboyant. Length and a half away is Thomas Moore, being tracked there by Gabino, making a forward move. That is Festive Cheer. Then there's Turf Tactus. Then there is Ice Glow sporting the blue cap. Second last is Secret Dimension, the run past the 600 meter marker. Tornada is the leader from Feliciana, being pushed in second. Flamboyant's waging third. Then there's Androstus. After that is Thomas Moore. Gabino, widest of all on the stand side. Festive Cheer is rallying on the far side. But Tornada is the leader from Flamboyant, is the one galloping on the far side. Feliciana is in third. Gabino is the one now galloping strongly. Widest of all on the stand side. But it is Tornada from Flamboyant on the far side. Gabino is on the stand side. It's Tornada from Flamboyant and Gabino on the stand side. Gabino from Flamboyant, Gabino from Flamboyant, Gabino, Flamboyant. Then there's Feliciana, Turf Tactus, Thomas Moore, Tornada, Festive Cheer.
Gabino took time to warm up, but when Sandesh drove out the favourite with all the resources at his command, he responded strongly and managed to nose out the front runner in virtually the final stride of the race, with Flamboyant in second and Feliciana in third. The feature race of the day was the Krishnaraja Wadiyar Cup over 1600 metres for 4 years old, which saw 10 horses enter the parade ring. Reigning champion Desert God, trained by S. Padmanabhan, was coming into the contest on the back of a 4-win streak. With wins in Chennai, Mumbai and Kolkata, and with A. Sandesh back in the saddle, he would be looking at continuing his winning form. The SS Ataula, trained Booker Jones, ran second the last time out in the Jayachamaraja Wadiyar Cup over 1400 metres in Bangalore, and would be looking at going one better this time out with S. Zerwan in the saddle. His stablemate Azura was coming into the contest on the back of a win in the CN Wadia Gold Cup over 2400 metres on March 13th in Mumbai, and would be looking at finding his way back to the winner's circle once again with S. John holding his reins.
That is orders, and off they go for the Krishnaraja Wadiyar Cup. And as they settle down to race, Booker Jones gets a far to take over the running. Now being joined and passed on the outside by Starlet. The new leader, Starlet, the leader from Mickey Mouse, is the one which is joining up on the outside. Slightly dropping back is Booker Jones. 3 behind is Desert God. Another length behind is a 0 with Arrogant Approach. Is settled back to run in the bit pack. Matchavalism is not far behind. Right behind there is Summer Dawn. Star Formation keeping company on the outside. Another length behind is Flash Drive. They travel past the 1,000 meter marker back to the leader, and it's Starlet the leader by about a length and 3/4 in front of Mickey Mouse in second. 2 behind comes the next is Booker Jones. Another 3 behind is Desert God with a 0 on the haunches of Desert God. 2.5 lengths behind is Arrogant Approach. Flash Drive improving on the outside. Matchavalism is the one which stuck in towards the rail side. Star Formation is niggled and running last at this stage as they approach the 600 meter mark and start to negotiate the bend is Summer Dawn. They wheeled on the conference straight for the final run, and they are homeward bound for this Krishnaraja Wadiyar Cup, and it's Starlet the leader, comes in on first leader, being hotly chased on the outside by Booker Jones, and Booker Jones on the outside is the one which is on the outside star, coming to challenge up strongly, but Starlet now quickens well by about a length and 3/4 in front of Booker Jones is the one, and Desert God is the one which is looking good on the outside. Azuro is another 2 behind, an Arrogant Approach. Matchavalism traveling out wide, but inside the final 150 meters, Desert God comes on the outside and looms large and towards the race of Booker Jones, but Desert God from Booker Jones. Desert God is going to win the Krishnaraja Wadiyar Cup from Booker Jones. Azuro ends up third. Starlet, Matchavalism, Arrogant Approach.
Sandesh gradually improved places on Desert God midway through the race and was in a striking position at the top of the straight to take on his rivals. Desert God overhauled Booker Jones with a measure of comfort, spreading a length at the finish.
Time now for a quick break here on the Winning Post. Don't go anywhere.
Broke back down and Tapiture did it.
A 5-time graded stakes winning millionaire Tapiture is the only son of record-breaking champion sire Tapit to win graded stakes at 2, 3 and 4. A brother to 2 other stakes winners, Tapiture is also similarly bred to Tapit's brilliant champion Untappable. and to his Breeders' Cup mile victor Tapiture. Tapiture has enjoyed remarkable success with mares carrying Stormcat and Tapiture.
It's going to be a blanket finish. Here's the wire, and Tapiture takes it.
Tapiture is from the AP Indy branch of the Seattle Slough line, but he has crossed well over mares from other branches of Seattle Slough and has enjoyed success with some specific branches of Mr. Prospector. Tapiture, who is owned by Winchell Thoroughbreds LLC and trained by Stephen Asmussen, started his career run at the age of 2 in 2013 in Saratoga over a distance of 6.5 furlongs. He, however, broke his maiden in Churchill's $150,000 Kentucky Jockey Club, a Group 2 race, by dominating 4.5 lengths from Ladle Boy and Awesome Sky in November of 2013 from a lineup of 9 horses over 8.5 furlongs. His total earnings at age 2 from 4 starts was $140,000 US. At age 3, Tapiture won the Grade 3 Southwest Stakes at Oaklawn Park in February 2014 over 8.5 furlongs with a lineup of 12 horses by defeating Grade 1 winner Strong Mandate and Preakness runner-up Ride on Curlin.
As he finishes with a flourish, Tapiture wins by 4. Strong Mandate clearly second best.
He also won the $750,000 West Virginia Derby on 2nd August 2014 on Mountaineer Park. Tapiture emerged victorious despite having a rough trip and eventually losing a shoe, winning by a nose over a very determined line favourite Candy Boy and Vikers in Trouble, who finished third. With 3 firsts and 3 seconds in 8 starts, his total earnings at age 3 was well over $1 million. At age 4, Tapiture had 18 starts, from which 5 were in first place and 4 in second and third place. He won a miler at Churchill Downs in September of 2015 in his final prep for the 2015 Breeders' Cup Dirt Mile.
Close Dan's legacy toward the rail, Midnight Cello. Here comes Viva Mallorca trying to run down Tapiture. Tapiture digs down deep toward the rail. Viva Mallorca's been trying to get by. Tapiture won't back down, and Tapiture did it.
His total earnings at age 4 were well over $1.5 million. One of the top physicals by arguably the world's best sire Tapiture and out of the 3-time stakes producing mare Free Spin. Derby Dan Farm has acquired the breeding rights to Tapiture's millionaire son Tapiture, who will continue racing throughout the remainder of his 4-year-old campaign before retiring to stud at the Lexington-based farm in 2016. The Investec Derby Festival, also known as the Epsom Derby, once again brought huge stakes, high fashion and some of the best flat races in the world to Epsom Down's racecourse on June 4, 2016. Elegant, fashionable racegoers gathered for a classic day's racing at Epsom, with many competing to win the much sought-after title of Best Dressed Lady and to celebrate the 90th birthday of the Queen.
And they're off and racing. So racing in the Oaks, and one of the first to show forward is Somehow.
The Investec Oaks for the very best middle distance 2-year-old fillies is the feature race on what is one of the most exciting and significant race days of the year. 9-year-olds enter the parade ring to contest over 1 mile and 4 furlongs. Leading the pack was Minding, trained by Aidan O'Brien, who was ridden by Ryan Moore in the saddle. Also in the field was Harlequin, trained by M.R. Shannon and saddled by Sylvester D'Souza.
Harlequin in the diamond colours, Architecture the gold sleeves, Skiffle's blue jacket is amongst horses, as now there's a little battle as Somehow edges over towards the rail, and it's Somehow who crosses over and will lead the field as they continue their climb. First 3 furlongs of the contest see Somehow in front for Shamie Heffernan, who now tries to drop anchor, but Australian Queen on the outside will keep the leader honest. Turret Rocks racing in third in the green and blue on the inner of the white cap of 7th Heaven. Diamonds Pourmoire is in 5th place as Minding moves up to take 6th, just ahead of Architecture. Harlequin already chased along at the rear of the field, and Skiffle is right at the back as they continue their steady climb, and they'll shortly swing left-handed and begin the descent. So by half a length, Somehow out in front leads from Australian Queen in 2nd place. Turret Rocks is in 3rd on the inside of 7th Heaven. Minding in 5th, with Diamonds Pourmoire being ridden along in 6th place. Skiffle's forced to come 3 wide in order to get past Diamonds Pourmoire, but begins to improve alongside Minding. Architecture sidles up on the inside, then Harlequin. Diamonds Pourmoire has lost her action somewhat down the hill and is effectively being eased out of the race here as they run down inside the final 4.5 furlongs. So it's Somehow who'll lead the descent down towards Tattenham Corner. From in 2nd races Australian Queen. putting out Seventh Heaven. Up the inside goes Turret Rocks. Minding's white face amongst horses. A skiffle comes 4 wide. Minding just having to negotiate a passage, caught on heels there at a crucial stage, and Minding's had no luck at all. Turning into the straight, is shuffled back to last. Out in front, her stable companion somehow making the best of her way home. Skiffle in second. In third place, Architecture. Now out in the clear, Minding is being pulled out to try and deliver a challenge. Back in fifth place is Harley Queen. They fan out with 2 furlongs to travel in the Oaks. Architecture has struck for home. Minding, despite being shuffled for last, is coming with a challenge and moves through into second. On the right-hand side, Architecture and Frankie Dettori. Minding, the purple cap for Ryan Moore, moves through the lead. Minding hits the front in the Oaks. In second is Architecture, and Minding stamps her authority. Met trouble in running, but will follow up her 1,000 guineas success by winning the Oaks.
There was a sense of joy and relief on the face of trainer Aidan O'Brien as 1,000 guineas heroine Minding regained her air of invincibility in the Investec Oaks at Epsom. With winnings of over £1.3 million, the Investec Derby has some of the biggest prize money in UK racing and attracts racegoers from across the globe, including celebrities and royalty. It remains the one race that everyone wants to win and boasts an unrivaled roll of honour from legendary names such as Seabird, Nijinsky, Milreeve, Shergar, Galileo and more, right up to 2015 hero Golden Horn. Run on June 4th this year, the Investec Derby over a mile and 4 furlongs saw 16 horses in the contest, which included Harzan trained by Dermot Well, who had Pat Smullen in the saddle. Also in the field was US Army Ranger trained by Aidan O'Brien, partnered by Ryan Moore in the saddle, who was joined by his stablemate Idaho, who had J.A. Heffernan holding his reins.
US Army Ranger, Idaho striped cap and Harzan are the first to go for home. US Army Ranger is now in full cry towards the outside. They're into the final furlong. Harzan, US Army Ranger have got to the leader's girl, but has still got to get by. As Harzan is pulling out more, and it's Harzan in the colours of the Aga Khan who has won the Investec Derby from Pat Smullen and Dermot Bell.
Harzan proved too good in winning by a length and a half to give the Aga Khan a 5th Derby win and Dermot Well a landmark moment with his first triumph.
That's all we have for you in this episode of The Winning Post. Remember, if you've missed anything at all, you can always catch it on our YouTube channel. Also, remember to follow Mohit Lalwani on Twitter for his tips. And remember, till we see you next time, goodbye and may the horse be with you.